Hey guys, what's going on, man? Good to see everybody. I hope you guys are well. Boy, this feels good. Like you're seeing the African Guna down there, but he's actually really happy on the inside. And I like you see this smile. I've not been able to get. Oh, I'm coming through. Oh, hold on a second.
You sound good on this
Ah,
side.
that's right.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. I just realized I had some echoing. Like, see this smile. This is how I've been all day. I've not. I'm buzzing, and I'm like the last guy. Me and Tony have officially gone on record to say I'm not there yet. You know, Vincey said, "Yeah, we're going to finish fourth." A couple of the other guys said, "Yeah, that's it. There's no way we're going to lose it now. We are not going to throw this away. We're going to finish in fourth." Um, are you there yet, Ebony?
What am I where? Am I what
Top
fourth
four.
in
Are
the
you
grid?
there yet?
Like I said on that Amazon interview yesterday that I did that I was able to do outside before we went into the armory.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm keeping my feet firmly on the ground. Taking into consideration, yes, we've got 2 games in hand over Tottenham, and I think we've got a game in hand over Man United.
It's one game over Tottenham with a 6-point lead,
Yeah,
and it's 3 games over Man United with a 1-point lead.
yeah. So taking that into consideration, we've got to bear in mind that they may win all their matches. They may drop points, which we're hoping that they do, but then they also may win their remaining matches. We've got to win our remaining matches to actually hold on to that. So right now I'm
I think
keeping
we
my
could still
feet
lose
firmly on the
2.
ground.
I think, yeah, we could lose 2 and still finish fourth.
I don't want to lose 2. I don't want to take that
Yeah,
risk. You know
yeah,
me
nor do
already.
I. I
Risks.
think that the most important games is people are talking about all these games. Liverpool, Chelsea, they really mean nothing, guys. Honestly, a loss, a loss on Wednesday to Liverpool means absolutely nothing. The most important 2 games is Man United are a direct rival for fourth. They are coming to the Emirates. We cannot allow them to win. And Spurs, we've got to go away to Spurs, and we cannot. We need a draw at Spurs. A draw will just cut the neck off because they're hoping that they can win and then divide that 6-pointer against us. It might not at this stage. It won't do them much good, but at least it will slow us down. But we actually can afford to lose 2 games and still be fourth.
Like I said, I'm not taking that risk.
Yeah.
I, I know what we're like. I know what we're like. If we lose 2 games, we end up losing a third, and it's just like no.
If Spurs beat us at their place, and if we lose to Liverpool on Wednesday, we would still be above them.
Okay.
That's how far we are. I'm loving the African Guna right here, man. He's happy on the inside. Trust me, man. I see this guy typing to me today, and he was like, "I'm having a glorious day. Praise the Lord. I'm feeling good."
Stressful day at work, but and yeah, I'm just tired because of time difference. But like, don't get it twisted. Like, my soul is so happy. My soul is so happy. But at the same time, like, again, like, I've watched every single Arsenal game in my life, and I just know this team. We are, the pinnacle of giving so much joy and can take it away in a second. And I just want to hold my horses. I'm not 100% convinced yet, but I mean, I have to give credit to Arteta. I have to give credit to the process. A lot of the things that you've been saying, I'm slowly starting to see. And I think I wanted to see it a bit quicker than we have been.
Yeah.
But now there's no denying that this team is on another level. The Ozils, Aubameyangs, all those guys are out of the team. As much as I didn't like some of the decisions, there's way more consistency. We have a style of play. The team is playing for each other. The team is playing for the fans. The team is playing for the manager. And like we're just 2-3 signings away from like making the next step. And I mean, I'm so confident that in the summer we're gonna get signings, and good signings are gonna take us to the next level. Yeah, I need to shave. This hair growth isn't good for me. But yeah, I think in general, like, you have to give credit where it's due. I think Odegaard, wow,
I know,
wow,
bro.
wow,
I know,
like
man. But
wow.
but, but you know what? I was telling people from last season to me, no,
No, but
Apollo, he didn't do nothing. No, I was showing them all the stats, and they were like, no, 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 Apollo. So I'm happy right now, man.
look, I use my eye test. I'll say he never played like this last season. He never played like this. Because if he did
he
play like
did.
this, I think one, Real Madrid would have never let him go for 30 million. And two, a lot of the Arsenal fans wouldn't have been so, hesitant on saying, oh, is he worth 30 million? Because that's where I was standing. I was saying, oh, is he worth 30 million? Oh, can he do it in the big games? Oh, is he physical enough? Because he was getting pushed on the ball a lot. And now he's untouchable. Like he
listen,
really has.
Listen. You know, all of this is the undercurrent. You saw.
Yeah.
I saw all of this. I saw the eye test. I showed you the stats. I did everything, and no one was on board. And you know, the biggest thing I had to say about him last year, which nobody really cared about, was we had the second highest points in the Premier League in the latter half of the season when Smith Rowe and him came on board. It changed the team completely. We were 18th in the league in shots. We were 19th in chances created. We were terrible. And when this guy came in, it transformed our team completely. And a lot of fans, a majority of fans, just couldn't see it. And it frustrated me a little. So I like that. When I hear everyone talking about him, match of the day, Ian Wright, when I hear Charles Watts talking about him, when I hear Arsenal fans coming in online and talking about him, when I hear ESPN football talk about him, it just makes my heart pound, because he's my favorite player. He's my Ozil 2.0. And he's a better player than Ozil at this stage,
100%.
because when Ozil was 23, he had just signed a big Real Madrid contract after beating the World Cup. He never played any defense. This guy gets into tackles, wins the ball back in the final third, and maintains possession for us. He's just, he was toying with Leicester yesterday.
The way he just cut through.
At a certain point, when the confidence was up, when we were wind in our sail, like he was doing flicks just for the sake of it. And you could see, right, when you're watching the game, you could tell there was this moment, I think, in the second half around the 60th minute, where the team was just on another level. It was like watching Barcelona in their prime. Like, I think also I'm noticing watching games now that the fans are olaying in the 60th minute with when's the last right? As an international fan, I really that is something I've really picked up on, right? That shows the confidence in the team. I remember under Arsene Wenger, when we were dominating teams 4-5-0, that used to happen all the time. It was a normal thing, and that dissipated when the team went down. And you see now that the team is slowly being reinvigorated. Just having the class to just do that, right? Untouchable. And as a fan, you can't ask for much more. It's so entertaining. And I felt
it is so entertaining, man. Could you imagine what, I put that thing on Twitter about Xhaka. I said, Partey's had 3 man of the matches. Sambi had 2. Niles in his one start got man of the match. And Xhaka hasn't got any so far. But,
he didn't really bring anything to the game yesterday, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah,
I have to disagree. Unfortunately, I think Xhaka's newfound role is absolutely amazing for us, especially the fans that hate him, because he's just staying out of the way now. He's nowhere.
Which he should have been anyway.
Let's be honest, right? We are succeeding with him in this new position. Partey is holding down the fort. This guy is nowhere to be seen in defensive third, and I don't mind that. And we all know how good of a passer he is. So he's getting into those pocket of spaces where he can hurt teams now, because he's making those passes. I'm seeing no yellow cards.
Really? It's Partey and Odegaard's link-up play. That's what's damaging teams.
Left-hand side, Martinelli, Xhaka, and Tierney, that triangle there, Xhaka is playing a part in that, right? So you've got to give credit. No yellow cards, and I haven't seen him make any stupid fouls in the last 3 games. Look, I said it on Twitter. I know it's coming. I know this leader they talk about. I know he's going to do it. But, right now, I got to give him credit. He's staying out of the way, and that's all I ask for. I really don't pay attention that he's even on the field, because he's barely getting involved. He's not dictating the play, nothing. He's just
he's really been isolated. Vincey and Tony, when we was at the stadium, they both pointed it out to me, that he's just in that. For anybody who knows tactics and has been watching Arsenal for a number of years, that that sort of, it's not a false nine. People like to say it's false nine. It's basically in an attacking midfielder role in a diamond. Emery moved Torreira there, and it kind of really killed Torreira's career at Arsenal, because you don't want him playing up top in the diamond as a midfielder, and that's what they've done. It's a 4-3-3. Someone has to play there. So the good news is whoever's going to take that spot. I mean, it's tailor made for Hosam Aouar to take that spot. That is a player like that, playing in the top of a diamond, who can win the ball back and create and make things happen. This formation's crying out
Let's
for us.
also mention, Apollo, that it also has the name of Bruno Guimaraes. I saw him play against Chelsea, and wow, that guy is a good player, man.
Yeah,
So
I don't think he's going to leave Newcastle. He's not going to leave the
of course.
Richard
I'm saying if we had the opportunity, right? He could have been that player for us. I mean, it didn't happen. I'm not too upset by it, but I mean, imagine we got him and Vlahovic. Like, I can't even imagine what this team would look like if we had those signings. And I'm looking forward to what we do in the summer, because I have confidence now.
Yeah, for real, man. So are you on board with 4th place yet?
Not yet. One game at a time. One game at a time. I ain't getting fooled yet. One game at a time. When we have 3-4 games left, I think that's when I'm gonna make a call. But we can lose against Liverpool, we can draw against Aston Villa, and bang, all of a sudden the doors open again. And people are panicking. The team loses confidence. So I just want to take it a game at a time.
Yeah, I think for me, back in the game on my video, was I actually thought that this was going to be this was going to be the one that just capitulated us into a bad run. And I was very wary of this game. And now we're over this. I actually feel even more confident. If we get a point at Liverpool, that's going to be it. Every single person, including myself, who was not committed to top 4, will commit.
We're going to win.
Ooh, Tony runs a hard bargain, man. He runs a hard bargain. Tony, if we don't draw Liverpool on Wednesday, you're not sold.
Say that one more time.
If we draw against Liverpool on Wednesday, would you not be sold that this team is definitely going to finish in 4th?
I don't even think we have to. It really matters, because we got so many games in hand. Liverpool game is not that important. What you got to understand is we could lose 3 games and still finish 4th if things were just continue as they are. I'm with Irfan in that I kind of believe that I'm not going to run before I can walk. I told Nabil this on the chat today. We don't win the title in March. Yeah,
exactly.
I mean, people are saying Man City are running away with it. Well, actually, I'm watching Crystal Palace about to throw open the title race with 5 minutes left. If Crystal Palace hold this game to a draw, Liverpool going to feel themselves like, we can get this.
That's what I'm saying. I said to Ebony yesterday, the Wednesday's game, it ain't really about us. There's a title race. Top 4, it's all nice. There's actually a title race going on the other end.
Absolutely.
We're winning on Wednesday.
Ooh. You heard it here first, guys. So listen, let's get right into it. Let's say hi to everybody first. Andrew, what's going on? He says, don't shave until Arsenal lose. So there you go, African Guna. You're not allowed to shave.
I have to go to the office tomorrow.
Jesus. Your positivity at maybe reaching top 4 is so refreshing, bro. Hey, whoa. I'm not saying that I'm not saying we finished 4th, mate. I never have. Check my videos. I got backup. I got proof. I have never ever said at any one time this season that Arsenal will finish 4th. So I'm just saying we could, And I actually said last week, I said, let me wait until the Leicester City, the Liverpool and Villa games are finished. Then we'll have 10 games to go. And then I said I will give my verdict on 4th. But no, bro. Slow your roll. It says, joyful I used to be in that position with previous managers. Hey, man, it's all happening. Kuke said happy coming 4th and even happy for Arteta extension. Oh yeah, 3-year deal he signed, didn't he? Yeah. So I mean, if you don't get an extension, then someone's going to come sniffing. Liverpool are about to lose Klopp end of 24. Barcelona and Real Madrid go through managers like I go through hot dinners.
Whoa.
So yeah, it's going to be a tough one. It
This
says
is unusual. Kevin De Bruyne is losing the plot at his own players.
I'm not surprised, mate. That's the title for them, isn't it? Be pleasantly surprised and definitely to support him. Yeah, listen, man, Arteta's got a lot of fans now. He's bringing a lot of fans over. So, guys, I've done my player ratings yesterday on my video. If those guys didn't see it, I'm going to pull them up for everybody. I'm not going to talk through them because actually I probably should have yesterday, but it's different when you're at the stadium. But there's my player ratings. What's important is that we hear from the rest of the panel. I'm going to go with La African Guna first because time is against him and we could lose him at any moment. He's 2 hours ahead of us. So we could lose him at any time. So African Guna, let's get your figures on yesterday and your player ratings. And if anyone wants in the chat, you can send them forward.
Awesome. So yeah, really happy with the 3 points. I think Ramsdale for me 8.5. I think so much credit has to be given to him. A couple of points I want to note. First of all, the save that he made. Wow, point blank. Brendan Rodgers was already celebrating. He turned around. Apollo, you might not have seen this because you were at the game, but I mean, watching it on TV, he turns around to the camera and he says, "Wow!" He literally.
It's on my video. It's on my video vlog. Yeah.
So I mean, when a manager has a reaction like that, right? You really know that it's something special. And I think a lot of times we say goalkeepers save you points, right? And I think Ramsdale really is the epitome of that. I think there was even a point where Lacazette takes the penalty and Ramsdale is literally looking at the fans. He's not even watching the penalty being taken. And he obviously finds out that we've scored by the reaction of the fans. I don't remember the last time an Arsenal goalkeeper's ever done something like that, or just
I do. Chesney against Man United.
Okay.
Yeah. Chesney was a prankster, man.
Yeah, he was a prankster, smoking in the changing rooms, and I mean, I was quite young when I watched him as well. I think he was a decent keeper, but nowhere near what Ramsdale is. And I think it's the charisma, right? I think the fact that these guys are all young, that I think come from the same generation, is this different type of glue for me that we haven't seen in the Arsenal team before. And I think that has a lot to do with the age group. I think they're all just so similar in the way they think, even though they're from different parts of the world. It's just seeing the world in the same perspective. So for me, I think Ramsdale 8.5, especially after he's been having some kind of edgy games. I think he reestablished yesterday for me that like he's still a top gun, and absolutely the price that we paid for him is worth it. I mean, he's worth more than we already paid for him.
Yeah, well, he was on the market for 50 million.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what happened?
Right. 50 million now.
Yeah. Tony, sorry, we got to go to Tony. Tony, what's going on?
The Crystal Palace keeper is doing a Ramsdale.
Okay.
They score.
Oh, wow. No, he saved it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
I did want to say before you carried on. Brendan Rodgers also did that when Maddison had a free kick against us in the first race, first game, and Ramsdale pulled off a cracking save. It came off the crossbar. So yeah.
Double save on the post, then saved it again, and then cleared. And
Brendan Rodgers said he's the best goalie in England.
Of course.
Absolutely, I agree. And, I know it's kind of hard when you see him over there with his hands on
Crystal
his head.
Palace nearly scored.
Oh wow! I don't know if that's a good or bad thing because I don't want Liverpool to come with a vengeance. You know, I don't like.
They will. There's the titles on the line.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough. Cedric. Man, you know what? They were definitely targeting him, 100%.
Oh, yeah, they was.
I mean, he was the weak point of the team, and I think he did a decent job. There were at times he made good recoveries.
You know what happened? You know what happened? So they had identified that as an attacking weak area, and in the first half an hour, he was getting torched. And what happened with what Arteta did, he pulled Thomas Partey back, and then he pulled Saka back a little bit deeper. And then Cedric all of a sudden had that cover because there was 3 guys on him, on Cedric. And he just couldn't handle it. They were overloading him on that side. And so Partey came in, stepped in, shored up that area. And I would believe for the whole of the second half, there was no issue with Cedric at all. So, you know, that was something that Arteta had to change.
Yeah, I still agree with Ebony. I think he's really average. But, like, so far, so good. Like, he's... You know, I think in previous seasons when we had an injury and someone was a backup, we were like dreading the backup player because it's just so atrocious. including Cedric in past seasons. And I think in the last few games, he's held his own. He's doing a job. But I still think if Tomiyasu's fit up for Wednesday, I still think we still play Tomiyasu, man, because Luis Diaz is going to ruin Cedric. He's going to ruin Cedric, and they're going to target him again on Wednesday. So for me, I'm going to give Cedric a 6. Ben White's, I'm going to give an 8. Absolutely amazing. Amazing. I mean, just like so many qualities that we haven't had before. The over the top ball to Saka every time. It's on, and he pings it, and he finds it. I mean, the way he carries the ball forward. Actually, if you even watch the handball that we got, the penalty we got for the Thomas Partey handball, it was Ben White who took the shot first before it deflected to Partey for the header. So, I mean, this guy is all over the place. And the tackle he made on Maddison, I mean, if he gets that wrong, it's a red card and a penalty. So, absolutely amazing. It's so impressive that we still have Saliba to come into this team. Like, you know, people forget that. We still have Saliba coming into this team. I'm going to give Gabriel an 8 as well. I think him and White have, like, an incredible partnership. I think it's a better partnership than Koscielny Mertesacker, in my opinion. I think it's way more mobile, can score goals, can defend. I mean, literally has everything. Tierney, I'm going to give an 8. Where's Bertram? Where's Bertram? Because this guy's always coming for Tierney, and I've agreed with him recently. But yesterday, that was the Tierney we're looking for. Again,
he had a good game. Yeah.
Came and cleared that ball when 2 Leicester players were coming, gunning for it. That was a certain goal if he didn't get there, and he didn't even fall. Nothing. He just came in, bam, cleared. Just clear the ball, no questions asked. He didn't take any players, no penalty, nothing. And that's so reliable. And I think in an attacking sense, him and Martinelli, look, when you have 2 amazing players, like, it just happens naturally. They think on a different level than other players. The chemistry, like we're seeing with Odegaard and Saka, it just comes naturally for them because the talent is there and they can read each other's mind. And I'm really liking that partnership. I'm actually going to give Xhaka a rating today because I think he deserves it. I'm going to give him a 6. As I said, like, I think he has been playing better. It doesn't change any of my opinions on him, but I want to be fair, and I think he is playing a better role in the team, and he's costing us less. So I'm going to give him a 6, which for him is great. It's a great.
It's a blessing.
Yeah. So Partey, I'm going to give a 9. I feel really bad for him because he hit the post, and then he got his header, his second header. You got it taken away from him because I think if it doesn't hit the hand. Well, going in.
It's a shame he does, because he doesn't even get an assist for the Lacazette penalty.
Yeah,
that was all on him as well. That was his game. He blew it up, mate.
But him and Odegaard are just playing on another level in their own positions, and that's what's so beautiful to see. Is like it's not that like Odegaard is amazing, and it's both are amazing in their own individual ways. Partey is just dominating completely on his own, and it's funny because I think a few months ago we were saying that Partey can't play as the lone pivot because he gets left for dead, and he's been a beast. He's been a beast. I mean, you can see the star quality, the way he shimmies players, the way he just carries the ball. I mean, sometimes when I feel like we've lost possession, he just goes back and he gets it like it's nothing. He just like shoves the player off. He's like, nah, give me that. It's just child's play. So really enjoying it, and I hope that he continues it because I think against Liverpool it's going to be really important. I think their midfield with Fabinho. I mean, Fabinho is an idol for me in terms of the midfield. I could only dream of having a player like him, and I think Partey is slowly getting to that level for me. Odegaard, I'm going to give a 9.5. 9.5. Close to a 10. I mean, you can't really say much more. Like, I don't remember enjoying watching a player like that or a player play for Arsenal like that in a long time. And I think the game against West Ham last year when we were 3-0 down and it became 3-3, that game, Odegaard ran the show as well. And this game, he was above that level that he showed in that game. And for me, that was his best game in an Arsenal shirt. So I mean, yesterday, Apollo, you said it. I think this guy's going to be better than Mesut Ozil. I think he's already better than Mesut Ozil. Yeah. He's a complete team player. He did 14.3 kilometers yesterday. Do you understand how much running 14.3 kilometers is in a professional game? Like, that is crazy. And you're right. He tackles. He wins the ball back. He starts the press. I mean, he does everything. He's really the full package. And if I'm Real Madrid right now, I'm shedding tears because how the heck they let this guy go for 30 million? Arteta really pulled their pants down. And Eddie
so for
well.
all of those guys that are looking for the conversion, he ran nearly 9 miles yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, just crazy stats. You would never see Ozil run that much. And it's not only about the running; it's the tackling and everything. He has everything. But I want to reiterate, he hasn't been playing like this in the beginning of the season. This has only been 3
man.
So, let's be honest. I'm not throwing shade. I'm just putting it into perspective. It's been 4 incredible games. He needs to keep this consistent till the end of the season. He needs to do this against the big teams. I don't want to see on Wednesday against Liverpool that he's barely touching the ball. He's barely getting involved in the game. I hope that's not the case. But I think really for me, on Wednesday is the final test for me to prove that Odegaard is the world-class player that I think.
Since November, nobody has created more chances in the league than he has.
That's fine, but I want to see.
So he's been doing it for months.
I want to see 4 or 5 chances against Liverpool. It's all good to do 6 chances against Leicester, but I want to see some good chance creation against Liverpool. That's just my perspective. I still gave him a 9.5. I still love him, but I still want to see a bit more from him against the bigger teams. That's just my opinion. Saka, I'm going to give an 8. I don't think he had his best game, but again, I mean, he pulls 4 or 5 players easily. I mean, they just can't hold him. His center of gravity is just incredible. The way he just gets the ball and he just drives. And I think it's different to Martinelli. Martinelli pushes the ball and he goes and gets it. Saka, it's glued to him, and he's just like swifting around.
Yeah. Watching Saka's like playing FIFA.
Oh, it's incredible.
Watching Saka is like, no, forget FIFA. Let's talk about sensible soccer. You know, them old games in the 1980s where the ball used to stick to your feet. That's what it's like.
We had this conversation with Bertram, and he laughed at us when we said he's a 80 million to 100 million pound player. 100%, I mean, we should put 150 million release clause on this guy because
I think he's valued at 96 million. That is euros, but no, not a chance. He's worth way more than that.
Yeah, he's absolutely incredible, and we need to tie him to a new contract again. I mean, every 6 months we should give him a new contract because that's just how good he is. Right, and I think he really runs our team in an attacking sense. He drives us forward as much as Martinelli does. I think our right hand is our strongest side right now. It's so funny because last season
Bertram's got a message for you with Saka.
Okay, we'll go through it.
Bertram, man, come on, Bertram, man. This is Saka, Bertram. Come on.
One of the things I want to say on Saka is I think yesterday he took some shots on when I think maybe he shouldn't have, and that's okay because he's super confident and he's in his zone. But I think sometimes he needs to make a little bit of better decision making. Maybe make the pass and let someone else shoot in a better position than having like the four players on you and you're just going for the shot. I mean, he needs to understand now that it's not just 2 players that are coming for. He gets triple team, quadruple team. Like, yeah, they can't stop this guy. So I think he needs to use that to his advantage because other players will be in space and they may have better opportunities to shoot. Martinelli, that's harsh, Apollo. Remember, he gave the assist to Partey. So I'm giving Martinelli a 7. I think he's just working. He's working so hard, right? I mean, even though he's not scoring, he had that run where he beat 2 players. He was on the touchline. He found Lacazette, and it was blocked. I mean, that was amazing to watch.
But his overall game is just is not up to his levels right now. I mean, I gave Lacazette a 6 when he got an assist. Remember that fake Ben White, the one that Ben White should have got for Gabriel when he scuffed it in. I gave him a 6 for that because he did nothing in that game and did a little bit older play. He's struggling a little bit now, Martinelli. He's struggling.
You know what? I also want to reiterate that I don't think he's struggling as much as we think. I just think the rest of the team has stepped up a level, and Martinelli was the one who was setting the pace. And now all of a sudden, other people are the whole team is outshining. Like every position almost is just outshining. So it makes him look average now. But I think he's still working hard, and I love this rotation that we have now with ESR and Pepe. I'm surprised Pepe didn't come on yesterday. I think he should have.
That vexed me yesterday, man.
Yeah.
Not just because we're not giving these guys enough time, but it frustrated me because we have a game on Wednesday. So you're 2-0 up, 15 minutes to go. Bring on Nketiah and rest a couple of guys. Bring on Pepe, rest a couple of guys. Bring on El Nene if you have to. But I just didn't understand. I mean, the only reason why he was making substitutes was to waste time.
Absolutely.
And
I think in the
and try and
70th
drag it
minute
out of them.
already, Pepe should have come on for Saka, and
Yeah,
ESR should have come on for Martinelli. And I want to say bring on El Neni, but I think Partey was just too important. And if you took him out, like we would have lost control. So
Bertram,
for me,
why are you doing that, Bertram?
yeah,
Bertram.
but some people always gonna look at the negative side. For me, he's our best player by far. I mean, him and Odegaard right now and Partey,
man.
but like in terms of the whole season, Saka has to be the player of the season so far for me. And Odegaard and Partey are now rivaling that position for me. But again, they need to continue doing it till the end of the season for us to have a conversation. Saka's been doing it from day one for me. So in terms of Lacazette, I'm hearing some Arsenal fans saying give him a contract extension.
Oh my God!
Why do we keep calling these traps? Like, yes,
all right. Shall we deal with that now? Hold on a second. I just want to, from you guys' perspectives, who would give Lacazette an extension? Can we get some numbers up here? Right, guys. Who would give Lacazette an extension? Let me just get rid of this for a second so I can let you guys see it. Are there any takers here, and you guys in the chat? Would you give Lacazette an extension?
Based on that, no.
But I don't think it's even statistics. I think just in general, because the statistics don't show what he's contributing to the team. I think he's obviously contributing to the team more than the goals, right? I mean, the assists that he has, the way he's bringing into play, like the pre-assist, if we may, I think he's bringing it. But I think we're getting too emotional. He needs to do his job. He's getting paid a really big salary. He needs to get us to Champions League, and best of luck, bro. Like, go join up with Aubameyang in Barcelona, as I'm hearing on Twitter, and like we need to move on and get a new striker and continue evolving this team, because clearly we're seeing the benefits of it. So we shouldn't be scared anymore of letting loose of these cannons, aka Xhaka and Lacazette. For me, are the last two players in terms of experienced players that need to move on. I'm gonna give him a 7. I think he was good. He needs to continue being the leader of the group. That was a good penalty. Let's be honest. Top bins.
It was a very good. And you know what? Over the years, him and Aubameyang's penalties have been trash. Our best penalty taker is Pepe, and Pepe don't even take penalties anymore. And,
he doesn't play.
I was clinching when he was going up to take that, and it was the best penalty I've seen him ever take.
I can understand why Ramsdale didn't want to watch, because I also didn't want to watch, right? Because I mean, if you miss that, I think it changes the complexity of the game, right? We're not as comfortable. We're a little bit on edge. The game is so finite. Like, one thing in a game can change everything, right? That save. If Ramsdale doesn't make that save, we could be talking about a different game. So I'm going to give him a 7, and I'm giving Arteta a 10. 10.
Yeah, You can see, like,
anything more.
Arteta and Odegaard are my biggest fans, and because of you lot, I don't want to be biased too much, so I have to downgrade my own favorite players.
If he makes top 4, give him a contract extension. But if he doesn't, we cannot give him a contract extension. Look, it might make sense if we're 1 or 2 points, but if we completely fall off the pace and we make Conference League, then I wouldn't agree. But if we make 4th, or we just miss out on 4th by a point or 2 points, I would say, okay, cool. Get your striker, get your new midfielder to replace Xhaka, and I'm willing to see what you're gonna do next season. Because so far, I can see a real manager in there. He's learning on the job, but this guy's smarter than we give him credit for.
He's way smart. Yeah, we knew that when he was at Barcelona, and he was a youth then. So Andrew's saying Wednesday could be a catalyst for a good. Yes, that's what I just said to Tony. Bertrand saying Arteta's like Pep, no in-game management, bro. Under lockdown, that's all we were seeing. Bertrand, under lockdown, especially when they had the water breaks. That's all we were seeing. All we were seeing was him constantly managing the team.
There have been games where there's been poor in-game management. I agree with Bertram, but lately it hasn't been. In the last 10 games, it hasn't been.
Guys, all I could say is it's a shame that you and Bertram have got the disadvantage of not seeing the sideline. When I'm with Tony, Ebony, and Vincey, we're constantly, remember Ebony yesterday when I was pointing to the sideline and saying to you, look what Arteta's doing. He's not happy with his line. He's not happy with his shape and things like that. He's constantly managing that team throughout the whole 90 minutes.
Yeah, but Apollo, remember that, and look, I'm trying to be fair here as well. My perspective is that when that was happening earlier, he was confusing the team. But I think now, even though he's still doing it, I think the team just knows what they're doing way better.
Yeah, they're getting better. Yeah, I agree. They are getting better.
For a year now, so they don't even listen to him. You know, they know what they're doing most of the time, and they're in control. And that's why we're seeing them play with freedom now. It's less rigid. Yeah. They know what they're doing. They know their role. They know the structure, and we're seeing it come to fruition.
So the question was, will you take Lacazette back? 18 says no. Bertram says, what negative are these? So he's probably saying yes, he will take him back because he wants to dispute the number. So yeah, he'll take him back. Kuke says not a chance. G says no way. I think Bertram's still talking about Saka, saying we all agree Saka is a very good player, but we're talking like no, because he's yeah. Well, you know what?
Mbappe's special talent, no one is as good as Mbappe.
Mbappe's generational, isn't it? Oh no, he says no. He says no extension. Thanks for your service. All right, okay. And then he says he has scored 2 goals from open play. Cannot get behind. Yeah. I agree, mate. I agree. And I think somebody made a point. I'll try and find it above that. If you improve on Xhaka and Lacazette, those 2 positions next season, we're going to be firing. Andrew says, Bertram, some players reach their ceiling quickly, some maintain a standard longer. Saka has improved, no doubt. Considering what occurred in 2020, he has shown strength of character. He has, but the best is yet to come. He just turned 20, guys. You're not even in your prime until you're 25. This guy, his ceiling is so high right now. Where did I see that thing at the top here? Never mind. I can't see it. So, Ebony, what was it? Ashley, shall I go with Ebony or Tony first?
I'll go with Tony.
Yeah, because Ebony had some stuff on the video that's already up on the channel. Tony, you got the conch. Player ratings.
Okay, so first and foremost, I got to address some of the African Gooner's points because I love his enthusiasm. He is me from many years ago when you're like so in love with your team and they do so well and you just want to praise them. But I have to be honest and be a little bit hesitant. So like my positioning with the top 4, you know, I'm not quite ready fully to say, yeah, this is a done deal. I'm still not fully in on Arteta. Yeah. As I think African Gunner said, yesterday, that game was screaming for some new legs around 75 minutes, and he doesn't bring them on. In a game we're winning 2-0, you just kind of think, you know what, now's the time. Unleash Pepe. Unleash the guy. You know, give him 15 good minutes. And I actually thought Nketiah needs to get minutes.
Yeah.
You know, Lacazette was doing a sterling job, but let's be honest. Leicester's legs looked like they were the Thursday night legs. That last 15 minutes, they were traveling from wherever they was in Europe and still dragging their legs. And I just thought, here's where a fresh Eddie Nketiah running the way he does could maybe do some damage. At the very least, he causes them lots of distress because his movement is good. So, you know, for that, I look at Arteta and think he still, at times, he gets things, I think, wrong. But ultimately, you win the game. You get a clean sheet, even better. The next point I want to address very quickly while African Gunner is here. I love Martin Odegaard, but let's get it right. Ozil? Nah, bro.
100%.
Nah, bro.
100%.
22-year-old Mesut Ozil.
He was.
It's the work rate.
Tony, the difference is Real Madrid let go Odegaard at 23, but they signed Ozil at 21. Actually, they signed him.
Right.
And Madrid's team was way better than Arsenal's team. So I mean, you know, like you can't compare.
But the point is, he was the focus of that team.
Yeah, he was.
And Odegaard is
the best player in the World Cup. He was the best player in the entire World Cup.
Work it out. Ozil was the focus of the Galacticos of that year, and Odegaard is the focus of a reasonably good Arsenal team. It's like chalk and cheese, bro. And I'm not saying that to disparage Odegaard, but I'm a Mesut Ozil fan. I also happen to be a Real Madrid fan. So
I think his ceiling is higher than Ozil's, but
Ozil at Real Madrid.
Yeah.
Look, I'd rather have a team player in my team any day than an individual player that could play like Ozil. That is
you're
what it is for
talking
me.
about the wrong person. Mesut Ozil is the most team player there ever has been. Because think about it. He's got the most assists at Arsenal. Apart from Thierry Henry, nobody has scored, has created as many chances as Mesut Ozil.
Yeah.
That tells you the man is a complete team player.
Yeah. I think we can all agree he's not better than him yet, but I think the added defensive play and everything, I have to agree that he's got the potential to probably be the best number 10 in the world.
Also,
he's going to be Odegaard's going to be the new Kevin De Bruyne. Mark my words.
Tony, the game has changed. The game has changed. Now you got to be able to do both sides of the game.
Hasn't changed,
the game has changed. Of course, the game has changed. You have to be able to do the defensive work.
What has changed about football?
Tony, what has changed about? Hold on. No, let me answer that. Yeah.
Go ahead.
First of all, two things.
Mm-hmm.
The first thing is the prototypical Olivier Giroud big striker that has gone. Yeah, everybody knows that he's the last of the giants, so we say. The second thing is how many people? Yeah, how many people?
Can I answer that one?
No, because I got to get past the next one, and then you can answer. Okay. The second one is when we had Mesut Ozil and he was on his way out. Everybody was saying that was the death of the number 10. They were saying that the way how number 10s are structured now, it's a different game. Teams don't need them. So those are two prime examples of how the game has changed and how the likes of Martin Odegaard, Kevin De Bruyne, Smith Rowe, and all these guys have had to change up what they're doing.
Thirdly, the game is more physical, and fourthly, wing backs have become way more important because you got to be able to get up and down the field. So that wasn't the case.
I'm sorry.
10 years ago.
You are wrong. The game is not more physical. The game is less physical.
Disagree.
You can't disagree. You're not old enough to even talk about it, bruv. Have you even heard of Chopper Harris?
No,
you have no idea about how physical football.
It was a dirty game before. It was a dirty game.
Yeah, it was a dirty. But I still think that
now
positionally.
To talk to me about the physicality of the sport.
Look. I would say defenders in the past may have been more physical, but I think now, even as a winger, you've got to be physical. At least in the Premier League. I'm not talking about general football. I think in the Premier League, you got to be more physical. That's my opinion.
You're talking rubbish.
No, I think it's a different perspective, Tony. And, it's very difficult to talk to him about Chopper Harris and them guys.
But I've never even heard of that guy.
I know. That's what I mean.
And how Ian Wright used to ride out a challenges left, right, and centre. Talk about people trying to chop down Thierry Henry.
Kevin Campbell, man. They used to bounce off. They used to bounce off Kevin Campbell.
Chop him down. Yeah. Have you heard of a reducer? Do you know what a reducer is? Yeah.
But see, that's the reason why I'm saying that prototypical big striker just doesn't exist anymore.
Okay, so let me address that point. The prototypical big striker that you're talking about didn't exist at Real Madrid when Mesut Ozil was feeding a man by the name of Raul Gonzalez. Raul Gonzalez was 5'9". He was no big guy. I know, but then if you look at the likes of Mario Gomez, Muller, if you look at, but we're talking about Real Madrid when Mesut Ozil was feeding.
That's one team, Tony. I get what your point, but
Andy Cole is no big giant.
Yeah,
Dwight
it is
York
one
was
team.
No big giant. Ian Wright was no big giant. Yeah.
We could talk about the Drogbas. We could talk about all, Emil Heskey's. We could talk. It's just the game has changed, man. The game has changed. Yeah.
Ian Wright was no big giant. Ian Wright and me could stand next to each other. I'm the same height as Ian Wright.
Yeah, but I mean,
love the guy.
but he was in the minority though.
Yeah.
Seriously, I mean,
I
like
could stand next to Cesc Fabregas
everybody looked
and
at
he
Andy
scored.
Carroll and was like, at the Andy Carrolls of the world, that was what everybody was looking for. The big, massive Giroud hold-up guy. That was a prototypical striker.
No, it wasn't. No,
the game's
it wasn't.
changed. The game's changed, though, Tony.
You know what?
Yeah,
people
I think for a lot of teams, that's what they were looking for.
What people want and always will want is a goal scorer. If he's small and he scores goals, he gets in. If he's big and he scores goals, he gets in.
Yeah, I think you're talking about the way how Spain revolutionized the game.
5'6".
And you're using Real Madrid as an example. That is correct. But before that, and that was more of a Spanish thing. We saw that, didn't we, at Arsenal firsthand. We saw all of our big 6'2" players being transformed into the Three Musketeers. You know, Riziki, Kleb, and Fabregas, Nasri. We saw these big powering midfielders into these tiny little mouse. You know, these guys that could run around and run rings around you.
You're talking like if the game didn't exist around players like Roberto Baggio, Xavi, Iniesta.
But they were big. Those are bigger dudes, though, man. Those are bigger dudes.
They're all little players. They're all 5'6".
No, Kaka, come on, Kaka and all them guys, man. Figo,
well.
those guys are big players. Zidane.
How tall is those guys?
They're tall, bro.
No, he's talking about those Barca midfielders are definitely small, but I don't think they would have survived in the Premier League. I think also comparing different leagues. Different leagues.
Wait. Did those guys not come to Arsenal every year and batter the crap out of any English team that played?
But that's because it was Arsenal. Like,
not necessarily.
Yeah, look, I'm just looking there. Zidane was 6'1", Luis Figo 6 foot. You know, the midfielders were bigger then, man. Kaka was 6'1". Them midfielders.
Are you joking? How?
Yeah. They were bigger. They were bigger, Tony, man. You're talking. How tall was Nasri and Fabregas and them guys?
Nasri is like 5'6".
So small.
Yeah, it's a different game.
Anyway, let me get back to my ratings.
Yep.
So, Aaron Ramsdale gets an 8. I don't actually think there. Yeah, thank you, Bertram. There is no comparison. They're the same.
I don't agree with that at all.
Anyway,
I just gave you some examples. And they were for Real Madrid as well.
The thing. I don't think Cedric had a bad game. I didn't see him get rinsed.
Listen to what Bertrand says. He's right. The hand-checking rule is in effect.
Yeah, that's pretty much where we are at now.
Yeah, I know.
Not what it used to be. It's so much a touch a man and he's going to fall over. Back in the day, you used to have to kill a man to get a foul.
Yeah.
You really don't know.
That's true.
You really don't know.
Yeah, it has changed. It's a softer game. It is.
It's way softer. So anyway, the back four, right? They kept a clean sheet, and I'm not really convinced of like apart from a couple of things, I didn't see any major errors. So I'm going to give the whole back four an 8. The whole back four 8.
Okay.
Xhaka, I'm actually going to go Partey next because he sits in front of that back four and he's phenomenal at what he does. Bearing in mind, he does that on his own. And I know those two guys, Odegaard and Xhaka, come back and help when they're in defensive mode. But Partey quite often is sitting there in the middle as a pivot, single, and when he's just a colossus. Mm. So he's getting a 9. I'm even tempted to give him a 9.5 because he made one wayward pass. Made one wayward pass that I remember. Then I'm going to go with Xhaka and Odegaard. Odegaard, I'm giving 8.5 because the man is a maestro. I love him. So despite what I just said about comparing him to Ozil, he had what was yesterday for me a masterclass on the pitch. His 1-2 play, phenomenal. He's clearly got a relationship building with Thomas Partey where those guys know. In fact, Lacazette is part of that trio as well. They kind of just know, I can touch it here, you're going to move there. And Oh, it was lovely. It was
Yeah,
beautiful.
the biggest link on the team is Partey and Odegaard. I've been telling everybody for weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
because
one
I'm
that's
seeing
mad-
it in the
one that's
stadium.
madly missing
It's
is
beautiful
Xhaka.
to watch.
And you've all mentioned it. Xhaka just doesn't fit our team.
Mm.
And I understand what you're saying. He's better when he's up where he's up. But at the same time, he does nothing up there. You know, he had one shot, which we haven't seen that for about 6 weeks.
It was
You know.
blocked. The shot was blocked, isn't it?
No, he shot it over the bar. It
He
wasn't
shot
even
it
blocked.
over the bar.
Oh, that
Over
one.
the
Yeah.
bar.
Yeah. If you could
And
call
to
that a
be
shot,
honest,
then
I don't know why he doesn't shoot more, because we know he's got a shot on him.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think he's still scared of the fans' reactions if he keeps trying it and he doesn't get on target.
Could he get much worse than Thomas Partey?
No.
Thank you.
Oh, what's happened? Oh, there we go.
You, I'm
Go on,
there.
Tony.
I'm there. So I'm gonna give Xhaka 7. He doesn't do anything for me. I think I'm even being generous giving him a 7,
Yeah,
but
that's
he
a good
doesn't.
score.
He didn't make any mistakes. He gets his tackles in. He passes it simple. He's just average.
Tony, he's not even tackling anymore. If you're watching, he doesn't tackle. He's not tackling.
Yeah, he's average now. He's average. And
But
then
at
we
least
come
he's
to-
staying out of the way. He's not costing the team, and that's what I love about it. He's just not getting involved.
And that is clearly the position that if apart from a striker, that's the position I think you have to go out and go, let's fill that with a really good player.
Yeah, that and striker. That's what I'm saying. See, there you go, guys. Who said 101 don't give Xhaka any love?
And then I go to the front three. I'm gonna give Saka an 8. I think he tried really hard. He causes defenses nightmares, kittens. You know, he had his left back on toast all game, literally.
I wouldn't want to play against Saka.
Neither would I.
He's a nightmare.
He's too fast.
Martinelli was quiet again. He's just, you know, I know how much you love him, the African Guna, and it's not fair because Saka benefits from Odegaard on that side of the pitch.
Yeah,
he doesn't have that on his side. He's literally working on his own with Tierney occasionally. You know, I've said this to Apollo before. If you get the right player in that two that sit behind, you could get a lot of damage.
absolutely.
You know, because the sheer pace of the lad, the footwork he's got, the eye for goal, there's so much that you could get better from him if he has a better player just playing inside of him. But Xhaka doesn't help him. He really doesn't. And then lastly, Lacazette, I've got to give Lacazette an 8. You know, he's the gel. He is the gel. You know, I think you marked him down a bit, to be honest, Apollo. I really believe that, you know, I would have liked to see Eddie at the end, but starting the game, I'm always going to start with Lacazette because he's the glue. You know, his movement is clearly so much better than Aubameyang because of where you find him on the pitch. His positional sense is fantastic. You know, finishing-wise, I'll take Aubameyang every day. But just gelling that team as it is right now and seeing what we're doing, Lacazette is the glue. And clearly, whoever comes in needs to be able to do what Lacazette does and score goals.
And score.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a better all-round player than Aubameyang, right? That's what we're seeing him. The way you're right. The way he's connecting with players is just making the team go. He's literally bringing in the rest of the team. He doesn't even care about getting into the box. He's just creating the space for everybody else.
And I've got one statistic there for you to finalize that, and that is that Lacazette had 30 touches in yesterday's game, which is more than any striker in the Premier League over the weekend. So that's a lot.
That says it all, yeah.
Ben White had the most touches, 93 touches, man. That's nearly twice as much as Xhaka.
Wow. And as far as Arteta goes, I'm going to give him a good solid 9. A 2-0 win, you can't really complain. Got everything right in terms of the starting 11. As I said, I only mark him down because I think he could have made some changes a little bit earlier and maybe even got a third or fourth goal had we had maybe fresher legs against what I thought was a tired Leicester team by the end of the game.
Yeah. So before we go to Ebony, Bertram says party drinking roots. He was outstanding yesterday. Bertram, I love Bertram's comment when he said he's got old man legs. What kind of legs has he got now, Bertram? I would like to know, because we all loved that joke when you said it, because we all agreed with you. We all agreed with you, Bertram. But it'd be nice to know what your thoughts are, and if you can give us one of your lines, and then we'll be able to take that. Andrew says party tucked into some odd food. I just love the party. I said to them, guys, after the Man City game in the new year, he went to the AFCON and we were dog shit in January. Without him, we were awful. And as soon as he came back, look what happened. We started winning again. And then, you know, I got to hear people in the forum talking about how Xhaka is carrying party. I mean, I don't know what's going on. That's why I put that thing on Twitter today. That's why I said Partey's got 3 man of the matches. Sambi's got 2. In Niles' only start of the season, he got man of the match against Watford. How many has Xhaka got this season? That's all I'm saying. Just putting it out there.
This season, any season, has he ever even won a man of the match?
Yeah, I don't think he has. But you know, that's to those people out there. You know, everybody says I got an agenda and I'm biased. That's why I don't talk about him. All I'm doing is asking the questions and letting you guys come up with the answers, so that I don't have to wallow in all of that crap.
No.
So
people know my feelings. I don't hide it. I don't care what other people really think.
But by the way, can I just say, I don't know what kind of contract they've got with Thomas Partey, but right now I'll be throwing a checkbook at him. You know how it works in American football, where you got an asset and you have to throw the checkbook to keep that asset.
Yeah.
Right now, as much as I like Bukayo Saka, I'm throwing the checkbook at Thomas Partey, because I've heard a whisper that certain teams are looking at him and thinking, "Oh yeah, he would do good at my team."
So good. Man.
We cannot afford to lose Thomas Partey. We could actually afford to lose Bukayo Saka, but I don't think we can afford to lose Thomas Partey.
I spoke to big shout out to my guys at Amazon Prime who we was with yesterday, and Ebony spent some time out with them. I was talking to one of my guys this morning, and Colin as well at London Coney, and they're saying this guy's Kante levels. They're saying right now this guy is playing Kante levels. And I look at it and I'm thinking, that's why I set my last 5 games player ratings, because I wanted to really take a good deep, step back and see who was. That's why the Kieran Tierney thing that African Guna was talking about, I only noticed that when I took a snapshot of how I've been rating him for the last 6 games, and I've seen, this guy's gone from a 4 to a 6 to a 7. Now he's getting 7 point. He's getting 8s now. So his whole transition to where he is now, that man's is peaking. This is what we wanted to see, and I'm not sure why it's taken him so long, but. Like, I'm looking at the team and the leaders are leading and the supporting casts are playing up to the level. This is why we're talking about conversations about Xhaka, Cedric Soares, because the team is showing maturity well beyond its years and the professionalism, maturity from the youth, professionalism from the veterans. And it's just all this cohesive thing that is just enjoyable to watch. And I said to Ebony, Ebony, look at them. Look at them. After the game, I said, could you imagine how it must feel to be one of those players? Because the Emirates has never sounded like it has this year in the last decade. The stadium has never heard that support. Normally, when Arsenal go, the other week we were down 1-0. I was talking about this online. We were down 1-0 the other week. And we were loud and cheering them on and doing it. That was never the Emirates. Are you mad? And we go down 1-0 and we'd be booing. The crowd is completely changed. And the players are feeding off it every week. And I've never, I remember at the beginning of the season when my season ticket came up and all my friends around me in the section, except for Liam, who sits next to me, everybody else, and the guys who sit in front, everybody else left. Everybody said, we're done. Two seasons finishing 8th. they were texting me, I'm down Apollo, I'm not doing this anymore, I'm not coming back, I'm not coming back. We got bare new people in our section. And yet, this is the most exciting year we've had since probably 2007. I mean, I can't remember a year of late that we were playing this type of football. The football is so enjoyable to watch.
I think it's the love.
It's mesmerizing.
Well, it's the love for the individual players as well. Like if you take in isolation every individual player you can love, which we haven't for a long time. And I think it's also the dedication. I think as fans, you see when a player puts 110%, and that's what we're seeing. So even when we go 1-0 down, we're like, it doesn't really matter because we know these guys are not going to give up like in previous years where after it goes 1-0, then it's quickly 2, then 3, then 4, then 5. Now it's like that's never happening because the team would never allow it to happen and the manager would never allow it to happen. It'd be very
I just want to say,
I
just want to say one thing to you guys that me and Ebony found out yesterday, how much the fans are loving this team. We walked into the shop, we walked into the armory, and Ebony was looking for a shirt for Ramsdale.
Couldn't even find one.
So we're talking to this guy, and the guy says, I've never seen them sell out of a goalkeeper shirt. He goes, I've been working here 15 years.
Yeah.
I've never seen this shop sell out of goalkeeper tops before.
You can't even get one online. You can't even get one online. That is how popular Ramsdale is now. That's why I'm his fiance.
I like that smile from Tony. Look, I like that smile from Tony. It's just this is something is happening right now, man, and we're witnessing it. We've got front row seats, and I love what I see. We're going to the Emirates. Like it's like for me, it's like going on holiday. Like every time I'm going to a home game, I'm looking forward to it. I just want to be around there in the environment and see them playing that kind of football. And I'm thinking in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, oh shit, man, my season ticket this year was like 800 quid. Next year, it's probably going to be £1,500 because we might be in the Champions League. And, you know, they have to charge you for those. And it's all in the package, remember? So it still works its way out. But I'm like, I'm saving up now because when May comes and I get the invoice, I'm gonna have the $1,500 ready to go.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
Paid in cash immediately.
Ebony, you got the conch.
All right.
I'm gonna dip out. It's past midnight for me. So.
All right.
No problem. Man. Have a good one.
See you on Wednesday. Hopefully,
respect, bro.
Pull a draw. I mean, I think a draw is a good result for us.
Yeah, I'm going for a draw.
We'll win.
I'm confident we're not going to get dropped like 4-5-0. If anything, we'll lose 1-0 or 2-1 or something like that.
We're not losing.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm not on that. I'm not on that train yet, Ebony. Not there yet. Not there yet.
Look, I talked about the first 44 minutes against them in the last game. We went toe to toe with them, and then it was a mistake.
They
and
have
Tavares made the.
They have a point to prove now. I really think this Luis Diaz guy, he's better than Pepe. I know Tony doesn't want to hear that, but I think he's better than Pepe. And I also want to say I watched Madrid versus PSG and Vinicius Jr. What a baller. What a baller.
What a baller.
That guy is so good. He needs to do better with his left foot and sometimes his decision-making, but his natural talent is way above Pepe. I'd take him in our team any day. So.
And it's funny you say that because I've deemed Pepe the most talented player on our team. Bertram just said Apollo. Hey, Apollo, Bertram, you didn't hear me give a disclaimer about 30 minutes ago. I ain't saying we're finishing fourth, bro. I'm not saying that. Yeah, African Guna, thank you very much for joining us, and we'll speak to you on Wednesday.
Cheers.
Nice one, bro.
Bertram it's says funny you should say we got the toughest running because I'm just looking at on TV, they're showing the title race, and Man City and Liverpool both got to play Tottenham.
No, look, I said this before, didn't I? About 2 weeks ago, I said I don't want to hear anything about running or we still got these teams to play because they've all got to play each other. Exactly. And no sooner did I say that.
Tottenham already. Sorry, Liverpool have got to play Tottenham. Liverpool have got to play Man United.
They've all got to play each other, Tony. They've all got to play each other. But last week when I said that, it was you know, the issue after that was that Spurs had to walk in and play Man United, and look what happened there. Yeah. So when I hear all this stuff about us, don't worry about what we got to do, guys. Let's take one game at a time. Don't worry about the games in hand. Don't worry about nothing. Yeah, because we have to watch them teams playing each other as well, and they're going to take points off each other. They both can't share 3 points.
West Ham this weekend.
Yeah,
That's not going to be easy.
yeah. They both can't play. The teams can't both go away with 3 points. That's not how it works. Ebony.
Okay, my fiance, Aaron Ramsdale, 9. That save that he pulled off where what's his name again? Leicester's manager. What's his name?
Brendan Rodgers.
Brendan Rodgers. I mean that save that save reminded me of David Seaman. I don't know if you remember the FA Cup final where we played Southampton and David Seaman saved the ball at
I remember.
at the tip of his fingers.
Yeah, I
It
remember.
kind of reminded me of that, but the over the bar version of that. I mean, this guy is phenomenal. This guy is the best goalkeeper we've had since Jens Lehmann. This guy, I mean, I always say this, and I take back everything that I've said. I mean, like most Arsenal fans didn't want him. I include myself in that. He is phenomenal. And his distribution, I mean, he made a couple of mistakes in the first half, but otherwise, you know, his distribution is on point, and that's what we've been missing. And this is what Leno can't do. I'm giving him a 9. Cedric, I don't really have too much faith in Cedric. I think he got toasted in the first half. Yes, he picked up in the second half, but he's no Tomiyasu. So, but I mean, he's done reasonably well in the last few games.
He's done very well. He's absolutely done very well.
Yeah. He's done all right in the last few games, including yesterday, but there's just something about him that just doesn't convince me. But I'm going to give him a 6. Ben White and Gabriel, I'm giving them both an 8. Those two controlled the middle of the back, like it was as if a door was there. Nobody could get past them.
Guys, I have to tell you one thing. Me and Ebony was watching Inacho walk off the field.
He was in Gabriel's pocket.
He was disjointed. He actually, there was one stage that I pointed out to Ebony that he walked up to Gabriel and patted him on the back as if to say, yeah, you got me.
Because
you don't.
Iheanacho was in Gabriel's pocket for the whole game.
Yeah.
The only time when you actually heard of him is when he elbowed. I think it was Martinelli elbowed.
Yeah.
But and he got a yellow card for that. But otherwise, he was kept quiet by those two, particularly Gabriel. But Gabriel and White, they controlled that back middle superbly. I'm going to give them an 8. Kieran Tierney, I'm going to give him a 7. I thought he did well. Yes, he held his own at the flank. Yes, he made a couple of good passes. I think there was a couple of times when he lost the ball, but he recovered. So I'm going to give him a 7. Xhaka, I forgot that he was actually there half the time. That's how quiet he was.
Yeah, he was very isolated. All of you said it. Vinci said it. Tony said it.
Yeah, the more isolated he was, the better it was for us, really. Some people will actually say that when he's on the pitch, it's like we've got 10 players. So I'm going to give him a standard 5. Partey and Odegaard, I have to give them a 9. I can't. The middle of the park was theirs. They controlled that middle of the park. Those two spliced their midfield, their attacking players. That's how good they were, and I think those two play well together. I think those two actually know what each other's doing. They can actually.
That's the brain of the team. Partey and Odegaard. That's where it all happens.
It's like both of them know what each other's doing, and that's what you want in a midfield pair.
Yeah.
You know, I go forward, you stay back. Okay, you attack, I attack, or you go forward, I go back. And it was. You couldn't actually separate the two.
If you lift up the bonnet just to look at the engine to see how beautiful it was you'd see Partey and Odegaard. Yeah, every week.
Every single minute. Their attacking players couldn't even. It was like those two were a frozen block of butter, and Leicester were the knife, and they just couldn't cut through. That's how solid they were. So I'm going to give them both a 9. Martinelli, he got bounced off the ball quite a few times. Yes, he showed some brilliance, but no, he didn't have a great game. You can see the frustration. There was a couple of times when he could have scored. There was a couple of and I noticed that there was a couple of times when we had about 3 good chances where the ball was just like bouncing all over the place. And Martinelli, I don't know if he's tired. I don't know if there's something on his brain. Whatever it is, he didn't have a good game because he got bounced off the ball quite a few times. So I'm going to give him a 6. Lacazette, I thought he was okay. He wasn't the best. Yes, he scored a great penalty. Schmeichel went the right way, but he was okay. I'm going to give him a 6.5. Arteta, he gets an 8. Thought his tactics were correct, but the thing about Arteta is that he does the Wenger thing, where it's like you're giving Nketiah 5 minutes. What for? What's the point? Like Leicester are tired by this point, and we need fresh legs. You can see that we're not running ragged, but it was time to make a few substitutions, and for Arteta to bring on these substitutions like 5, Nketiah 5 minutes. He brought on Smith Rowe. He brought on, I think it was about like 10 minutes to go or something like that. I think they were the only 2 substitutions that we actually made, and we needed Pepe. We actually needed Pepe to come on for Lacazette, but
yeah, I think as I said, I think they just did it to waste time.
Yeah,
84th minute.
Yeah, it's pointless.
Yeah.
You might as well have not have brought on Nketiah. So for his mucking around with the substitutions, I'm going to give him an 8. But I think overall, when it comes to 4th place, I'm not gonna, like I keep saying, I'm not gonna get I'm not going to jump on high horses or anything like that. I'm keeping my feet firmly on the ground. There's teams that, have to play their games around us. We've still got Man United. We've still got Tottenham. We've still got Chelsea to play. Who else have we got? I can't remember who we've got right now, but there's still 12 games for us to play left. So, at the end of the day, I'm not going to get my hopes up too high yet. Yes, it's great to look at the table and see us being 4th. Yes, it's great having 1 point more than Man United, who've played a game more than us. But at the end of the day, we've got to keep our feet on the ground. We've got to be realistic. And but I'm hopeful that we're gonna get top 4. I am hopeful. I really am hopeful because we deserve it. Considering that,
do you think we're going to get there?
I would like to think that we are, but I'm keeping my feet on the ground. You've got to be realistic. As I said, everybody else has got their games to play, and and I know you said that we could afford to lose 2 games.
Yeah, we really could. We could afford to lose 2 games and still be where we are.
I'm not going to take that to chance. I'm not hopeful that we can lose 2 games because I know what we're like. We are a roller coaster.
It could be more though, Ebony. It could be to the point that we could actually lose 3.
Exactly.
Because if we take, for instance, who Spurs still have to play, Stylus has actually said that United have got to go to Anfield as well. So it's not about us really. Other teams are going to keep on dropping points.
Exactly. But then, I don't want to get.
Arsene Wenger says got to keep feet on the ground, but you're saying we're going to beat Liverpool.
Liverpool's going to be. Listen, I am optimistic that we can beat Liverpool. Liverpool have been beaten this season, and it goes to show that they are not invincible. But at the same time, I have to keep my feet on the ground. I'm optimistic, but one has to keep their feet on the ground. Yeah. So
okay, let me run through these lists as well because I pulled up a lot of data for us to have a little look at. This is our record against the top teams, top 6, and it's not been good. And I think this is something we're going to have to crack. We haven't been lucky with Man City, haven't been lucky with Liverpool, haven't been lucky with Chelsea. Tottenham's been, you can see a 0 there in terms of goal difference. So it's kind of, Tottenham have been okay. Tottenham's Man City's kryptonite. I said that to Andy the other day. Tottenham have beaten Man City 4 times in their last 6 meetings.
Mm.
That's Tottenham against Man City. So they're just their kryptonite. Man United, for some reason, we just can't get a win against Man United. We've beaten them a couple of times over the years, but even this season, when everybody went up to Old Trafford and was beating them, and we went there, it didn't happen. We lost. And little things like that, it's just like you don't know what's going to happen on Wednesday night, because the thing about facing a big team is you've got to believe mentally that you can beat a team you're going to face.
That's
And
what I'm saying,
Arsenal haven't won that the mentality battle. We haven't had the Mamba mentality. We've always gone into these teams thinking, "Oh God, here we're going to go again," and we get turned over.
But the thing is that we can beat Liverpool, and then we'll go and lose against Tottenham, or we go and lose against one of the so-called smaller teams. Because
I'm not sure if that's us, because we haven't beaten Liverpool and we haven't beaten City. Arteta has beaten them in the cup. It's not like he's not beaten them before. He has. It's just in the league. It's just a different animal. And I would love for them, but I think it's the opposite, Ebony. I think we're the playground bullies at the moment. We're beating up on all the lesser teams and we're losing to the big teams. But look, if that's enough to get you into top 4, then so be it. But at some point, you've got to beat a team that's going to compete against the big boys, because if you don't, what's going to happen again is you're going to make the Champions League, and then you're going to lose 5-1 to Bayern Munich.
Exactly. But like I said, we're able. I mean, I think because we've got Chelsea to play, and I think we can beat them. But at the same time, as much as I've said that we can beat Liverpool and Chelsea, and I'm optimistic, and I know people are thinking, yeah, right, whatever. We could go on and lose like stupidly against other teams and slip up. But I'm optimistic. But at the same time, we've got to be realistic. We've got to keep our feet on the ground, because we like I said, we are a roller coaster team. And because the way Arsenal fans are, when we win, it's jubilation. When we lose, it's like everybody get out. Sell this person, sell that person. Get rid of the manager. Get rid of Edu. Get rid of Vinay. So
so guys, I'm gonna throw my stats at you again, like I always enjoy doing, because we've been here before with me, and I was right. So I'm gonna throw some more at you guys again. Remember when I showed you guys this 4 months ago? It was before Christmas, and I said we're not playing really well, and I said, but if we can get up to in the top 6 by Christmas, Arsenal always finish strongly. At the end of last season, which we already talked about on this podcast before, Arsenal had the 2nd most points in the latter part of the season. So I said to you guys, if we get anywhere near the form that we did in the latter part of last season, we will make top 4. Now, I'm not saying we are. I'm just saying that when I made the point at Christmas, I said, if we're going to go on a roll, this is how it's going to be done. So let's delve into that, shall we? This is nice, this is. Don't you love it when a plan all comes together? So here we have the projected current points of how a top 4 race will end if the last year's results are repeated. And as you can see, Arsenal comfortably make the top 4. But I don't think that this sheet, this data, these stats on this sheet, I don't think that means anything. This doesn't tell us anything. This doesn't tell us anything that the previous sheet didn't already tell us. What would tell us whether we're going to make top 4 is how. How are we going to make top 4? And what I always said to you guys is this. So there's 2 things you've got to look at. One is current form. This is our current form in the last 10 games. It is tied the best in the league with Liverpool. In other words, there has been no team in the entire league that has scored more points than Arsenal. None. So in terms of the form guide, there's no team better. Yeah? I'll let you guys give your 2 cents in a minute, and then you can give your verdict on how strong the case is for us finishing in the top 4. This is our kryptonite. What is it that went wrong with Arsenal's beginning of the season that needed fixing? At Christmas, we all had a podcast. We all sat here and we said our Achilles heel is our away form. That's the problem. Well, what have we done? We fixed it. In the last 6 games, we've won 4 of our last away games. 4, which is 3rd best in the league. Now, if you maintain that and you maintain the home form, then this is the reason why Arsenal will make top 4. In the next 2 games, when I make my verdict, it will be because of this. It will be because of not Liverpool going away to Villa. That will be my verdict. If we can beat Villa, then I'm probably going to be on board. Why? Because all of the data and the statistics is telling me that Arsenal are in pole position because they fixed all the problems that they had: halftime adjustments, managing games, poor away form, injuries and suspensions. Remember, we had 4 red cards in January? Well, we're in March and we haven't had any red cards. Not yet. Not since then. So the team is matured. The professionalism, what we're seeing now within the team coming together, all these things, the moons are aligning, guys. The moons are aligning. Tony, let's get your opinion on what I just talked about, and then I'll go to Ebony.
A great deal of nothing. I don't really get it. I don't deal with all that. I mean, all I'm going to go by is last 6 games.
Oh, we're a long way from there, bro.
Yeah, the last 6 games that we've played are the form that we need going into the last 12 games. If we can repeat the performances week in, week out, when we haven't got any FA Cup obligations, we haven't got any European obligations, we got no Carabao Cup obligations, we just need to do what we have been doing week in and week out. And obviously we will slip up somewhere, but we can afford 3 slip-ups. I actually think top 4 should be ours. But as I said, I'm not getting into going overboard and saying it's written in stone. No,
oh yeah. We're not doing that. We're not doing that.
And say, look, let's just enjoy this ride. It would be great to have another St. Tottering Hands Day again, because we haven't seen one of them for a little while.
Yeah.
And get those noisy neighbours out of our ear. I've been taking great pleasure of this last couple of weeks, watching them getting battered everywhere they go.
Everywhere they go.
Actually, it would be interesting. It would be interesting to see where they. I had that thing up, didn't I, with the last 10 games? Where are they on the last 10 games chart? I need to pull that up again, Tony. Because we're too busy.
Look, we've seen what they can do. They beat Man City at Man City. They're capable. They're capable of coming in with a run.
They're 9th.
They have the Messiah in charge, Antonio Conte. So you've got to expect a reaction. You have to expect a reaction. Whether it's enough, we will see.
Wow, Tony, look at that.
If they don't make top 4, I see a huge capitulation at the end of the year for Tottenham.
Tony, last 10 games, won 5, lost 5, but look how many goals they've let in. 15. Wow.
But they scored 20 though.
Yeah, we scored more. We scored 22.
Yeah.
Wow, look at that. They're leaking goals. Look at Tony's gone quiet.
No, I'm pleased. But as I said, I've seen that team, go to Man City and win. And we have to go to the crap hole down the lane. And, you know, I'll be happy with a point. I'll be honest right now. I'll be happy with a point.
Yeah, me too.
You know, we beat them at the start of the season. I'll take 4 points any given Sunday. So, yeah, you know, let's enjoy the ride. You know, let's hope the performances keep up. That's all I'm saying. Keep the performances up, Arteta, and I think you'll have a lot of very happy fans who will be happy to see you sign a new contract at the end of the year. With the investment that we're expecting in the summer, and I do expect a significant investment. You know,
Really?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
You know,
If we make the Champions League, that's an extra 42 million in the kitty.
Well, I've heard telltale. I mean, I've seen a rumor saying we're going to be sitting with 180 million to spend.
Yeah, I don't know how that. How can
I
a team?
know how that came about.
Yeah, because the team's lost 190 million over
feeling kind of
3
confident
seasons
with his money right now because he went all in on the Rams and they got him a Super Bowl. So why not do the same with Arsenal?
Well, I mean, I look. In terms of the top 4, that's where my stance was. My stance was it's too early because there's enough time for a capitulation. When you get down to 8 games, when you get down to even 10 after Villa, there's still enough time to capitulate. There is. They're just the lines of error, the margins are so thin that it's just too early. And that's why I can't commit. Why? Because, look, I saw Spurs 10 points ahead of Arsenal in January, and Arsenal ran them down to team's top 4. Yeah? I've seen that happen before. January, every Spurs man was telling us, yeah, we're going to get into Champions League. Arsenal ran them down. And on the last day, beat West Brom. Koscielny scored the goal and sent his team into the Champions League. And Spurs fans just died on the last day. I believe actually Spurs lost the last 2 games that season as well. But my point is that the margins of error are just too thin. And like I said, we can afford to lose 2. We probably, when all is said and done, when these teams all play each other, we probably could afford to lose another 3 games. But based on our form, you saw their last 10 games, won 8, drawn 1, lost 1. There's no team better than Arsenal right now. No team. Not Man City, not Liverpool. No team has scored more points in the last 10 games. So, as Tony said, keep the form up. Yeah? Ebony?
Yeah, I would agree. Keep the form up. You know, we can't afford, I don't care about this. You know, we can afford to lose 2 or 3 games. I don't want to lose 2 or 3 games. I just want us to keep on going. You know, we have and this is why I keep on saying, you know, we need to keep our feet on the ground because I know what we're like. So just keep that momentum, you know, and I say this every time we win, you know, it's like take the win or take from the win into the next game and use that momentum, you know, keep the same shape, keep the same tactics, you know, just if you can keep the same team. If you have to make a few changes, you know, make the right changes and just keep going forward. We can do it. We can do it. You know, we have the impetus. We can do it. But you know, like every team, you know, we slip up. But you know, we're able to do it. And this is where my optimism comes in. But you know, my realism has to kick in as well, because Arsenal give me a headache. In actual fact, Arsenal actually frustrate me sometimes. It's like a boyfriend who's nagging you all the time. Mohamed Salah injury concern is good, but then we've got to remember that Liverpool do have other players and they do have other goal scorers. They've got Mane, they've got Firmino, they've got Robertson, they've got Jota. So so we have to be mindful. We've got our goal scorers as well. We've got all right. We can kind of put Thomas Partey in there. I mean, he scored 2 goals all season, and he could have gotten a second yesterday. But You know, we've got Odegaard, you know, Saka, Smith Rowe. So we don't have. So it's not as if we only have one goal scorer in our team. So I think we can match them on Wednesday. I really do, but just be realistic, people.
So we're going to go for some predictions here. G says, need to ensure we can pick up at least a draw if we can. They are one of the best free sides in the world at the moment, a gold standard team built by Klopp, and a perfect test to see where we are. Get at least a draw and beat Villa at the weekend, and it would be a perfect week. And who is this? I don't see a name. I don't see a name, but they've said jumping in and great to see Mr. Ramsdale, Mr. T, Apollo still being real. I think Ozil's light, and I think you're having a party at the game and smoking the bomb. Now it's time against Liverpool. Remember, it's not about this game, it's about others. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I totally agree. I haven't got the comments on who that was. But
it's
could you guys...
it's Freddie.
It's Freddie. Nice one, Freddie. Big shout out to you, my brother. Yeah, hey, Freddie, listen, did you see? I did put on my Facebook wall. I really didn't want any of you lot to miss it. BBC Panorama at 8 o'clock today.
I saw it.
Did a show on Abramovich that blew up everything. Everything.
The guy's dodge.
After, all I'm saying to you lot is wait until you hear the news tomorrow morning, because we've already heard, because of that BBC show, that the EU, let me repeat that. We've heard now that the EU are going to be sanctioning him. So it's not just the UK now. So forget about Chelsea. Everything he owns, yacht, plane, everything is grounded.
Even that 30 million pound flat that he's got,
all the money he's got in Switzerland, all the money he's got in Europe, bro, everything is going to be seized. Yeah,
bro.
Sorry, if you guys haven't seen the show, check it out. It's Abramovich. BBC's done an investigation and they've blown the whole thing wide open.
Corrupt as
bro,
hell.
do you think? Can I ask you a question? Do you think this is the first time they know about this? Do you think they've actually gone, you know what? For the past 15 years, we've done no investigation into Roman Abramovich and his dodgy deals, and we've not done a program because we've not needed to do a program.
So
but now, all of a sudden.
So I'm gonna answer that question by not answering it, because you and me and Neil talked about this on Friday, and we agreed that the problem here is that as long as you're getting money from some subsidiary of some sort, you keep your mouth quiet.
Exactly.
Yeah, and that's what the FA did. They did it. I talked about Man City and Finawatra. We called him Frank Sinatra. Man's in jail now. Yeah, the Premier League, they all know, because if you watch the program, it says the BBC heard about this 8 years ago and started the investigation 4 years ago.
And the government as well.
So you're telling me if the BBC heard about it 8 years ago, the government knew about it?
Of course they did.
And the government and the FA knew about it. They all knew about it.
It's all about money. It's all about money to them.
Let's not forget how much Russian rubles go into the Tory party.
I agree, but
it is financed by Russian rubles.
Yeah, I agree. There's two things that stand out here. Number one, I told everybody when Brexit was happening, I said, Boris Johnson's getting 40% of his campaign money from Russians. Nobody wanted to listen to me. Everybody's all they cared about was let's come out of Europe. We want our country back. Well, you got your country back.
Yeah.
How's it go? How's that working out for you?
For what?
Fred has always said this, and that's why, Fred, you're the man I was trying to contact to watch that program tonight. You will be able to see it on BBC iPlayer. I think it's going to be repeating later on this evening, actually. But I know you'll be able to see it on iPlayer. Freddie always says, follow the money.
Can I just say that, at the end of the day, it comes as no surprise that Abramovich is corrupt. The fact that, I don't want to give too much away, but what I'm going to say is that, he acquired an oil company through an auction that wasn't actually an auction. It was all planned so that he actually got it. that it was the beginning of how he amassed his great wealth, and then he ended up selling that to the Russian government to make his millions. So
who facilitated him doing it in the first place? So
exactly.
I want to explain something to you guys. Yeah, when you watch the show, please use this. Yeah, because if you know your numbers, if you subtract the amount of money that it was sold for and the amount of money that he was given to buy it, and subtract the remainings, guess what that turns out to be? His entire wealth.
Jeez. Which he's about to lose.
He's not losing anything.
Well, some of it anyway. Some of it, I guess.
He's not going to lose anything. He's not even going to lose a penny.
That's not true, Tony, because we already know.
Here, bro.
Yeah, but we already know from Chelsea. From Chelsea, he's going to lose about $1 billion because
what is that in the grand scheme of things? Work that out.
Well, in the grand scheme,
$1 billion is not a great deal of money. You've got to calculate how many zeros are in $1 billion.
Okay, so
if you take one of them away, it don't make no difference.
All right, so this morning, if you'd have said that to me, I would have said 100%. After I watched that show, and I've heard now the EU are going to sanction him, there are millions and millions and billions of his property. He's got something like 3.7. He's got like 80% of his money in Europe. He's in trouble, bro.
Does he have?
He's got money in Russia. He's got money in Russia. He's got.
Does he own other sports clubs?
No.
Fine. So he's got investments.
He's in trouble, bro. He's gonna see 80% of his wealth just completely wiped out underneath him, and there's nothing he can do about it. And they're gonna keep that money. They're gonna make sure, because they've watched what the UK are doing, and after seeing this program, it's hunting season right now for Abramovich. They run him.
Yeah, but
Freddie, just to answer Freddie's question, he's resident in Israel.
Yeah,
he's living in Israel right now.
But can I just say that, I mean, the fact that, he will lose 80%, I mean, he'll still have money to live. So he won't be broke by any means of the imagination.
He ain't going to lose 80% of his wealth. I'm going to tell you that now.
But
Tony, you're going to have to take that up with the EU, because if they do what the UK has done, he will see no profit from anything. His business is nothing.
Yeah, but that, you see, what you're saying is profit. If I already have amassed the money, you have to take the money away. You can't just take people's money away, even if it's ill-gotten gains.
All right. So I'll tell you this. Right now, Chelsea was worth $3 billion 7 days ago. They're now worth $2 billion. Towards the end of the season, and I was watching the guy from Financial Times. I think I'll have to send you the stuff and everything. They're saying that by the time that the UK government are finished with Chelsea, it'll be worth next to nothing. They would be worth less than what he paid for it. It's that bad at the moment now.
And
that's not a problem for a man.
Yeah, but then if he wants to sell it, if he wants to sell it, even if it's like $1 billion, and that's all it's worth, he's going to have to sell it for $1 billion.
Yeah, but I think that what Financial Times is saying, that if he wants to sell it, the quickest time he'll sell it would be 3 months. So if the sale was agreed today, the quickest time it will go through would be 3 months. By that time, Chelsea's dead. It's worth nothing.
Okay, so let me break this down. The government have instigated a clause. Yeah? You know the clause. Chelsea are a culturally significant asset to this country.
Yeah.
The government have told you in making that statement that we can't let that club go to the bin.
Well, it's going to the bin. Well, they're losing $1 million every day. Well, they're losing more than that every day.
Will not allow it to go to the bin.
But they've already lost jobs. Staff has already been. It's this thing.
I'm gonna tell you again.
Yeah. No, I heard what you're saying, but it's not helping them. It's not helping
the bin.
Yeah, it's not helping them, Tony, because the value of the club is degrading every day. People are already losing their jobs associated with the clubs.
I get it.
I hear what you're saying. I'm on you. Yeah. I'm right next to you, man. We're the Blues Brothers. As we speak, reality is showing us that the man's empire, yeah, is
Humbling.
sinking. It's the Titanic.
Can I ask you guys a question very quickly?
Yeah.
Because we like a few years, about 4, 5, 6 years ago, we were so desperate to be owned by Usmanov.
Yeah.
And I don't know if Usmanov is somebody who has any connections with Putin. So would that have amounted to the same thing? Because I don't know Usmanov's connections.
So the answer to that is yes or no. Yes, because they're all being sanctioned, all of them. Yeah. No, because Usmanov was never a majority owner. So when he was a bigger owner, he had 27-28% of the club, and then he only had about 2.7% or maybe it was 1.7%. So they wouldn't have hurt Arsenal because he was not a majority owner. Right. Roman Abramovich owns all of Chelsea.
Yeah,
he's a majority owner. That's his club.
Mm.
So so there would be a thing where the Kroenkes would always have one over Usmanov because they wouldn't be able to touch Arsenal.
But then Usmanov, he went to Everton, didn't he? Or
yeah, he did. He did.
Right.
And
so
I think it's 40% he owns of Everton or something like that. Again, it's not going to hurt Everton because he's not a majority owner.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, even though Everton's got their own problems.
And there's Piers Morgan complaining. Now, I wish we had an owner like Abramovich. Shut up, Piers.
Yeah. Look, man, what's happening with this thing is going to get worse because all the stuff that I've looked at, Financial Times, I will send you the Financial Times link when I can find it after the show, because they've done a play. Obviously, they're holding the money. Financial Times has got all the investigational paperwork and everything, so they know this thing inside out. And they're saying the amount of money the club is losing and going into the summer, it's going to be in a real bad shape. And the club has got debt, which has built up over COVID. And everything, all that has to be taken into account in the sale. And the club is going to be worth nothing.
What was it that Arsenal said? Something about the fact that, that Chelsea were buying trophies and stuff like that. I mean, he said something which actually was correct. It's going to, where's the effect of it's going to come to light or something like that? All of this, ownership and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, I think all of this comes out in the whole point of sanctions is to destroy somebody who's doing something, force them into doing something that you want to do, or to destroy that subsidiary. In the terms of Roman Abramovich, the UK government are destroying what he owns, and it's unfortunate. And it's unfortunate that it's Chelsea.
And that's only because of what's happening now with the war. That's why they're going after him. Yeah. So if there was no war, if none of this with the Ukraine ever happened, we wouldn't know about this. Chelsea would be still.
I think we would, because you've seen the show. BBC said that they've been investigating for 4 years, so this was going to come to light regardless. Yeah, and not just that, Ebony. That if this war didn't happen, as bad as this sounds, but UK would have still done sanctions if BBC had shown their programming. Why do you think the EU have now stepped up and said they're going to sanction him as well? This program is just completely crucified him.
It doesn't really surprise me, to be quite honest, because I mean, this government or this party, I should say, they've been at it. Well, I mean, you could say governments have been at it for years. They've been at it for years, and the saying, "Money talks, bullshit walks." It was all about money.
But it's like Tony and Neil were saying. As long as everybody's mouth is kept quiet, and as long as we're all getting the back pocket, no one's going to say nothing. This is what's been going on with Donald Trump in America for years. They're not running anything. They don't have no policies. Build a wall is not a policy. Build a wall is not going to help education. It's not going to help housing. It's not going to help health. It's not a policy. Yeah. His manifesto was 4 pages. Biden's was 92 pages. Yeah. Trump never had a policy, never had anything. Them guys have been doing underhanded stuff where they're looking after each other and they're getting all of this campaign money. The week he lost the election, he brought in 200 million campaign money. When you see them going out on rallies, it's because of this. They're all taking people's money and they're living off it. And that's illegal. Yeah. But no one's talking because it's all getting shared around. It's all getting sorted out. Everyone's getting their back pockets full. That's why you see all these votes with impeachment and all these votes and everything and abortion rights and all these different things. They're all falling in line. They're all lining up behind Trump and throwing up the white card. They're all falling in line. Not a single one of them has a soul. Police reform, they all said no. They talk about the party of family values and all this, like they're all falling in line behind him. Why? Because they're all getting this. And when this stops flowing,
that's when they start talking. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
so guys, that's it from us tonight. Last words, Tony. Closing comments.
See you Wednesday, bro, and let's look forward to very close run, exciting end to the season. We got 2 months left. I'm excited. I'm excited by the type of football that we're playing. So long may that continue.
Yeah, Ebony.
2 things. I'm glad we're not in Chelsea's position, and I'm keeping optimistic for Wednesday. Remember, I told you.
Excellent. What's your predictions? I'm going for 1-1.
I'm going to go for 1-0.
What? I think there's only one team in the last 48 games that has held them without a... Yeah. They've only been left scoreless once in the last 48 games.
It's either going to be 0-0
Hey, look at Man City
or
today
1-0.
at Crystal Palace.
Well, there you go.
Mad.
Yeah. There you
How
go.
many times have they been held scoreless?
Yeah, I know.
I think it'll be either 0-0, 0-0 or 1-0.
Yeah. Tony, prediction?
I'll take a 0-0.
Okay, I 0-0. That would be the best 0-0 I've ever had, man. Guys, listen, thank you for joining in, everybody. I really appreciate you joining us this evening. It's always wonderful and a pleasure to share the evening with you guys. Probably need to do it a lot more, but as you guys know, my life is so busy, man. So much is going on, personal life. So much is going on with my other channel where I do movie and TV reviews. I had to rush to get a review up for Star Trek Picard and Superman Lois today because I've been leaving them things on the back end. So it's just because of how sheerly busy I am. I just don't have the time to get on and talk to you lot as much as I would like to. But don't worry, man. Still here, still trucking, still rolling. And we're going to see you on Wednesday, man, when we got a massive, huge game together. But listen, that's it from us at 101. And I'll speak to you guys later, man. Peace out, everybody.
Peace.